Real building design in Tekla Structural Designer 2024. So we're going to model this particular building. It's a reinforced concrete building. It is a G+4 because we normally count the number of slabs that are being carried by the columns. So this is structural a G plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 slabs. You don't count the roof. So it's G+4. I will model using Archicad, but I'm doing this just to know for viewers to know that you can either use AutoCAD or Archicad because both of them can help you do general arrangement, but it depends on which software will help you do this faster because as you can see my plan, my building is very complex, having all these beams and all those columns. So I prefer to do it in Archicad. So I'll come here. This is the drawing called geomatical architectural. I'll come open this, just minimize, and then I'll go here to the location of my file. It's in architectural. I'll drag it and find the this particular drawing. This drawing is called geomatical architectural, and then drag it here. So here's our drawing. I will activate the arrow and then click on the drawing, then explode into current view. Okay. So I'm not doing my general arrangement in AutoCAD because to model this building, you need to determine the grids and the spacing between all grids that you will need, because if you do not model correctly in Tekla structure, you'll get validation errors. So I want to assume that I don't want to go correcting this error one by one based on the complexity and the size of my building. So I prefer to have all the grid lines that I need so that when I do modeling, I will avoid that error because when you're having grid, it's easier than when you're, for example, in Tekla structure, when you just want to create a beam where there's no grid. So you can see the problem is these these beams are not on the same grid, but of course, these are not columns, these are walls, but of course, walls are carried by beams. So I will need beams in these positions where I'm having walls. Okay, this is explore into current view. I'll click outside. Then I want to click here, suspend groups. That small icon, then I'll delete this. So that field. So you can see the ground floor plan, and I'm also typical first, second, third, and fourth floor plan, and the elevations etc. So I will model using this first floor plan. Just select it. Remember, I've suspended groups. So if this one is unchecked, you can see you cannot be able to copy only that because this drawing comes as a group. So you will have to suspend groups. I'm assuming that if you may wish to download, I'll get someone with Archicad and then try to use it to do this general arrangement so you can learn new skills. So I'll drag it. Just sorry, do not suspend group. Can either click that icon, make sure that icon is checked, or go to document or edit, grouping, then click here. Okay. So again, I'll drag this. So that's not issue. Then right click, move, drag a copy. I'll drag a copy somewhere outside, somewhere there. Now the next thing is to determine if this drawing is to scale. But to do so, I need to use a reference dimension. So I will go to document, activate dimension tool. I want to measure the dimension from here, there. As you can see, it is 0.41. Now we want to check options. Go to preferences, go to working units. We need to make sure that our current working units are in millimeters, so they're in millimeters, as you can see here. Now we need to go back to options, preferences, dimensions. Our dimensions should be in plain millimeters. Then just click OK. So this is 41 millimeters instead of 150 millimeters. So I'll activate arrow tool and then select everything, and then you can either go to edit, reshape, resize, or press Windows plus K. So I want to resize using just this point. Then I hold Shift D. It should be 150. Okay. Again, this one is 152 instead of 150. So we need again to resize. We have to make sure that you have the correct scale. The good thing with working with Archicad is you're going to be able to partner with the architect. You can work with architect more easily when you're working using the same environment. So I can either Control K. So let me escape it. Select everything. Okay, that is Window plus K, Control K. That is Control K to resize, and then OK. I want to resize using that point and that point. Holding Shift D should be 150. Enter. Now the drawing is to scale. Okay, the first thing is to scale. You know how to do the same in AutoCAD. So the next thing, I will have to delete all these dimensions, and I will add my own dimensions. All right. So I'll delete all these dimensions. Add those of my own, and I will add grids. So we need to model to draw grid lines in Archicad before we can go now and draw the same grid lines in Tekla Structural Designer. But let's first I go to Tekla Structural Designer. I need to make sure I go to Material, or click Material. I'm going to use United Kingdom Eurocode, UK. Use UK, then loose bar. Type 2. These are the available sizes. The materials. My material is concrete. I want to use that class. Sections, again, concrete. Plate dimension, and then I'll close. Then you can create a new. So there's a lot of work to do here because I need to create a lot of grids. They're going to help me to model my beams and my columns without errors. Because if you don't model properly in Tekla structure, you will get what we call validation error, and design cannot be done. So I will go and start creating my grids. I'll activate line tool. The first thing is you need to know that grid lines are always at the center of walls. So these are walls. So I need to draw grid lines at the center of my walls. So I will start with grid line number 1. Have I activated grid line? So I'll go to Let me minimize this. I'll go to more, grid, change this one to 1, 2. Let's just be AB, or 1, 2 is okay. It depends. Just be AB. Then I'll draw my first grid line at that particular point. Can hold Shift. So that is A. Now to draw B, you need to find the center of this wall. So I'll just go to document, line 2, from there, then again more, grid line. So this one is checked, snap guide and point, and you can see it is being snapped halfway, so I can be able to use the midpoint of this to draw that grid B. Okay, now again this one can just be dragged. So I hope you are following me. If you are using AutoCAD, you can do the same, create those grid lines, and then you'll be able to model. So the thing about Tekla structure, you cannot assume any grid for now, as far as I'm concerned, because based on the shape and the complexity of this building, if I model beam without grid, I have to solve a lot of validation error, which I want to avoid. So I can repeat the same to all these beams. So the best thing for me is to copy instead of just going to model other grid, and then I will rename the grid. I'll copy using the edge of this wall, move, drag multiple copies. So remember, copy paste is the easiest and fastest way to model in any software. So this, make sure you pick the correct edge so that you don't miss those grids. There, I have another one. Yeah, I'm not going to assume even a single wall. Yeah, right. Okay, we have another one. So we have another one at this particular point, but I'll come back to it because we're not exactly sure where this is. So I'll put, because I also need to model this column. Of course, this column, I don't have walls here, but of course I need a grid for these columns. There, finally here, and this particular point. So for here, that side I will do it manually. So I can activate line tool at this point, holding shift. That point, I want all my grid to extend to that point. If you are following me, you realize that I'm modeling this grid faster than those who are doing with AutoCAD, because that is it. Sometimes you can work faster with Archicad, so it's good to learn both software. And also, as we continue to model, I will also show another advantage of perhaps using Archicad. That is, you're working in the same environment with the architect. I show why it is an advantage sometimes. But of course, AutoCAD is a very powerful software. So I don't know. So here I will just rename this to BC. I'm just renaming. This one is D. This one is E. This one is F. This one is F. Here is G. H. I. Then I will model another grid at this particular point. It should be J, IJ, and then just like that, holding shift so that you don't you go, make sure you go horizontal. So here we just again hold shift, drag this the other edge. You can do the same if you want these markers to be on the same point or line. That one, this I can just delete. Now you draw grid lines in this direction. But first, I need to dimension. I need to know the distance from this to this. So I need to know the exact. You can consult with the architect, but as an engineer, you can also decide using structural experience to know where that these columns should be. I think they should be somewhere at the midpoint because this there is no other column there, and that's you can see that span there. So let me see. Right, so that is, you can see, as you notice, the grid are at the center of walls, not columns. So that is very important. So I need this to be at around you can move this grid, drag by that 9. Is it 9? My distance is 9. And is it 4,000? That is 39. That okay. So I will now I can dimension all those grids. I need all those dimensions. So I'll just come to this, activate my dimension tool. But first I can just draw that line, holding shift. Okay, activate my dimension tool. That point, that point, that point, that point, that point, that point. Okay. All right. So okay, now we can draw other grid line in this direction, now in the y direction, in the x direction. So I will just draw another activate line tool, draw another line from that edge to that edge of that wall. Now activate my grid element tool, then now this time 1, that point, holding shift, that point. Okay. Again, this one need to be moved that upside, holding shift. Now again, we can just copy to all those points, those edges of walls. Right click, move, drag multiple copies, because the walls have the same size unless otherwise. The green line will be at the same point, at the same center. So that point. Okay, I have another this point. I'm not assuming any point no matter the distance, because remember we are using Tekla structural designer, where grids are so important. All those points, I'm having walls. I'm having grid lines, not walls. Although some walls are not of the same grid line on the lower and the upper side. Here you need to be careful. I would prefer to use this point. Now I know that it's going there. Okay. I have another one here. I'm not going to use, I'm going to assume this one is a partition. I don't need grid line from a partition. I can load that slab with that partition, then do the analysis. Okay, so I want to activate line tool. Escape, I'll activate line tool. From here, holding shift there. Activate another line tool. From there, holding shift to there. So all these will be moving to that same point. Holding shift. So this is how you do draw the grids, do the general arrangement. Now before you can start modeling. Tekla structural design. If you don't do this, then you're going to get model errors, or you're not going to model properly, correctly. So I'll just move those points. Hold shift. Okay. Hold shift. Hold shift. Oh. Let me go back and do what I've done. Then hold shift. Okay. Holding shift, you can be able to move straight. Holding shift, want to move it, in fact stretching it. All right, so I'll do the same thing now for this to be easier, because they are all outside. Okay, I can just maybe change these ones My custom name is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I was not copy pasting, then this would be automatic. They will go according to numbers, but because I was copying, I have to again use custom name. I was not drawing these grids one by one, but it's because I prefer to work fast and smart. Remember, working fast is working smart because you are saving time. Time is precious. So this one is dirty. This one is 14. This one is 15. And this one is 16. Is there any wall missing? Because all wall we need those green lines. Otherwise, we'll have problems. So I will go ahead and dimension this. There. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm having problem because my dimensions are not exact. So again, I will need to check if I scaled properly. Control K. Okay. From here to here should be 150. Let me scale again. Control K. Control K. Size. I know from this point to that point should be 150. But also, let me try to resize using another method. From here, this point should be Shift D 2300, not 2301. Well, that looks better. Wow. So now we'll go ahead and start modeling. So I'll go to Tekla Structural Designer. I've already started new model, so I will go to Model, Construction Levels. I will insert above 2, 3, 4, then 5. The spacing is 2.85 meters. 2.85 meters. 2.85 meters. 2.85 meters. 2.85 meters. All right. So we have floors from stuff. This one I can name it as this base, first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor. This one is roof, right? So from this plan, you can see typical first, second, third, and fourth floor are similar. So here in Tekla structural design, this one is unique. Source is one here. Source is one. Source is one. The other roof is also unique. Then we're having slabs 150, 150 millimeters thick, 150. Okay. All story to story height is 2.85 meters. Then just click OK. Okay, after that, you'll go to grid lines. Not construction levels, grid lines. Expand, then rectangular wizard. So I'm going to model all those grid lines. This is the base level. Next. So in the X direction, just going that way, I'll model all these grid lines. 3.15 I can go just to option, dimensions, change to meters. Okay. Options, dimensions, decimals, and up to 3 decimal place. Okay. So my first dimension, next, is irregular, is 3.15, comma, to 0.2, 0.2, comma, 2.3, 2.3, comma, 0.85, 0.85, again 2.3, comma, 2.3, comma, 1.05, and then 2.1, 1.05, comma, 2.1, comma, after that we are here, that is 1.05, then 1.25, 1.05, 1.25, 1.05, comma, 1.25, comma, again 1.9, 1.9, and then 2.5, 1.9, 2.25, 1.9, and then 1.25, 1.25. then comma, 2.1, and then 1.05, 2.1, then 1.05, comma, 2.3, and then 3.15, 3.15. Next, again irregular. Irregular, this time we are going up in the y direction. This time I'm starting with 1.125, 3.03. 1.125, comma, 3.03, comma, 1, and then 3. What? I forgot a grid. This one here. So I will have to redo these grids, this dimension. Now from here, there, 1.2, and then 1.8. After 1, we go to 1.2, and then 1.8. 1, 1.2, 1.8, comma. After that, we go to 0, we go to 1, and then 1.2, 1, comma, 1.2, comma. We go to 1.35, then 1.35, 1.35, comma, 1.35, comma. Finally, we go to 1.175, 1.175. Then I'll go to next, then finish. Okay, here are my grids. So I can right click, open view. I'll model using fast flow. So let me model my columns from here in the base. I draw a column here. Yeah. So I need a column of 250 by 250. I'll use that class 20 to 25. New rectangular 250 by 450. Okay. Just there. After there, we have another one. At what point? At this first point. There. Okay, after that, we have another one. And we jump 3 and 4. We go to 5. At 5. C, D here. And after that, we jump 1, go to the other. We have another one here. Jump 1, we have another one there, jump 1 there. and there. Jump one grid, then there, that is, jump one there. And then finally here. Okay, we have another columns. We jump. Now these columns, I'm sure they are in these points and not where we currently have modeled them. So I'll do just this so that it can be easy just to delete all of this. I want to delete members and supports. Okay, so I can again activate the same column. We jump 1, 2, then 3. 1, 2. So we have columns here. They're on the same grid. After that, we're having jump 2, then we have circular columns. But first, I will go to this other side and model those the same columns. So jump 1 from the bottom side, jump that there. This time it's not there, it's that grid, they're on different grid. Then jump 1 here, there. Okay, after that, we're having another column for staircase here. So jumping this one here and then yeah. Right, so after that, we jump 1 there. Jump this, it is there. Again, jump 1. I'm sure we're having a column here because of this cantilever, so this beam cannot be going that way. And of course, these are not supported at the bottom, are not supported at this point. So of course, we're having a column there, support this intersection, this beam, and this slab. So we must have a column there. So jump 1, yeah. Of course, here and then finally there. Now I will change. These columns are cast in place. I will change the size, edit. Now this time circular, 400 perfect. Okay, so they are on which point? From here, I jump 2 grids, then there. Jump 2 grids, they are on this point. Are they on the same? Are they on the same? On the same grid with the other one? Yes. So all those points we must have those columns. I can click escape, and if you go to 3D, you can see they are moving because when I'm modeling, they are going up to the last floor. So I'll go back to base, then start to model my beams. Now my beams are 250, 200 by 450. By 450. And model concrete beams cast in place. Again, it is classed 20 to 25, then edit 200, 450. All right. I can just select like that. 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 Now we missed the columns for our staircase. So we need to draw those columns at this particular point. So I will go back to columns. These ones. Just on that grid. Yeah. And there. Go back to beams. My class is 20 to 25. We're having beams 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Those are primary beams. Okay, so we're having another 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Of course, our landing 2 here, and these walls here. Of course, again that point. Right click to release. Right click to release. All right, so we have this beam going all the way to that point. Okay. We have another beam from this point all the way to this point. Okay. This beam point, that point. That point. All right. So I'm having a void here. So I will have to do the beam to this top point here. Okay, so I'm having that beam there. This beam is being stretching. In this other portion, we have this beam. We have these other 3 columns here, which we do not place. So I will come to column. Again, change that, change the class. Do we have another? We have column so close. 1, 2. Just those two of them. So I'll just undo that. Then go back to B. Change the class to 2025. Okay. I'll just need to undo that. You can see the problem of validation error where it starts from. Was that beam was not going in the it was not going straight, so I'll need to model other beams. So from this point, I have another beam. I'll jump to grids. I have another here and there. Let me dimension this dimension. One 1.2 and then 1.8. So this one I'll go back to B. Here. There. Right click to release. That point. That point. I think I avoid here. Jump to then that point. Can add per after approving if you want. So all those. Can escape. Then edit, copy from that point to that point. Move from that point So I need to avoid this error. So let me model using this outside grid, then escape, then drag this that point. Another beam from this grid to this grid. So this one is going all the way. This one is going up to that point. Okay. I'll just model it from here. Yeah. Okay. So I have other beams all the way to from here, from there to there, there. So right click to release. This one I can just escape. Then maybe pick this one, drag it to that point, escape, then pick again beams. I'll just maybe drag this that point, then escape. Now this time that point. Now I have this beam is going all the way, but there's also this beam all the way. And that one and that one. So this one to that edge, this one to this edge. Okay. Okay. Now we're having those beams in the inside interior, these areas. Okay. We jump there to that point. Okay. So to avoid validation errors, this one have to move that point, escape. This one has to move back that point, escape. I'm sure we're having another one at those that this particular point here. Another beam. Okay. And I can just drag it to that point. Or delete these dimensions, all dimensions. I'll drag this that point, draw on the beam, that point. Let me see texture. I'll just drag this to the edge. Just the same way we did. Okay. So for our staircase, but we must have another being that way. Another beam, that point. So I need to select everything and come here to edit, rationalize. Escape. If I go to model, validate, so you can see we cannot be able to model slab because enclosed base lookup fail. Review suspicious location and or disable the selected bay option. So I'll escape. So let's try to edit and then join members. I'll select the node to join at that point. Any suspicious members that are not joined, outdate or getting validation error in terms of members intersection. For example, this one, that column this column and that beam have intersection issue. If I go to 2D, you can see the beam. So if I click on the beam, you can see where this node is. I'll just move this node, this point. Then instead, I will pick beam and then draw that beam, that point, escape. Now let's see if we're having that C11, this validation error again. Again, now it's on the top side. So let me show you. If I let me go to that part, because we currently don't have any beams in that part. So I will just go that part and delete everything apart from columns, because as if you can see, if I go to now validation, the problem is, if I go to model, the construction levels, it has changed up to story 4, the correction we did, but did not change to story 5 because it's unique. So let's see if we have that the same error validation to C11. It was C11, so that one has disappeared. Now we are in C12. It's saying that column and that beam. So if I go to first floor, so I just need to pick this and then this, drag it to that point. Then instead, I will draw a beam up to that point, double click. So this one, I will escape. This one will change in all the levels. So this one was C12. Let's now validate again. C12 should disappear. We do the same to C13. So we change the first floor, and of course it's that beam. So if I click on that beam, I need to drag this. So these are the beams I was just dragging to the edge. They are the ones which are causing these problems. And then escape. Then we go to the next, which particular beam, and then which particular column, which particular beam. Go to story 1. So then let me validate again. Now I'm in this. So again, I will click, drag this. We know the error will also occur here. Drag this, that column, beam. We know the same should also occur here. And also on these parts, just move it, all of these nodes. So this is the point of intersection which do not exist because these nodes are, I just dragged it. Again, I need to model those beams. Okay, finally this point. Now this beam and that line, I need to move it. I need to align it left. The same, this one now, I will align it right. So now let's validate and see if we're having that error. Now which columns? So this is the same and the top levels. So again, I will do what required, that point, then model now the beam here, there, there, again from here, there, holding control. Then I want to go to alignment. Left. So again we go to right. So that is okay. So let's check again the validation. Now we are left with only beams, so no columns. Okay, which beam? And that beam. Okay, therefore I just need to delete this beam. Well, I just need to escape it. Now this one should be moved to that point. That is beam 1B66. So let's validate again. One beam 66. Okay. Again. Escape. So this one, I need to move this to that point. Okay. So that I can again model from there to there, one by one, there. Okay. So we can now validate and see that one has gone. Now we are left with this. This one should move to that point so that that intersection there will be there. 49. This one will move to this point. Last point. 47. So I need to move this secondary beam, then model another one that point, then just double click. Again, we are left with so I'll pick that beam. Member intersection. So this one. So for member support is so easy. So let me see what beam this is. So, construction levels. Okay. So I want to know which beams these are. If this is story 2, let's go to story 2. Okay. Then what is this beam? So let me validate and see. So all those are gone. Now we are left with columns which do not have support. So I'll go to base, support, select all those. Let me first remove the support, all those. Now I need only to select columns. We have to be careful. Okay, so let me undo that. I just need the columns. Sorry. Okay, just that point. That point, that point. All those. And close all this. And then let's see the 3D. So let's validate the model. So I'll go to story 1. Now to solve this error, just right click, regroup, click, right click, regroup. Then let's validate regroup members, 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 and then validate. Now the model has been validated. Now if we go to story 1, I need to model slabs. So I'll click that. So first I will go to save as. Let me save this project. YouTube. YouTube G+4, and just save. So now we can my slab property value depth 150. Then I want to override depth. Depth is 150. Auto design. Impose load reduction reinforcement. My bar size is 10. 10 again. Bottom 10. 10 again. Cover 20. 20. Then I'll pick where I'm using this, where I want. So this is a staircase here. All these places we have slabs. Apart from here, there, 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 there. All these locations. Let me see. There we're having slabs at those points. There. Let me see. So if I go to 3D and say slab has been modeled for all, so I can validate again. The model is still valid. Then I'll go to story 1. Now here we need to add live, and we need to add the loadings. So this is a panel for staircase. This is a void. There's a void here, and there's a void here. I need to add loading, so we'll go to loadings. First, you need to select dead load. I will select full UDL, or I select create patch load on slab. Then extra dead, that is for finishes of 1. So this one is area load. Okay, I need to select load type is area load, 1 kilonewtons for finishes. Then I need to select imposed a load of 2.5, again area in all these. Then let's see the 3D. Can see the dead load, can see the imposed loads. That is area of 2.5. Now, let's go back to story 1. Now, you can see these walls are going up to the ground level, up to this level, but up to here. So these walls on the rear side will be transferring their load to the strip foundation because they have a strip foundation. They are being supported by the strip foundation. They are going to the ground, but the walls on this other top part will be are being carried from the beams, then transfer to the columns to the footing. So we need to load these front side of our column apart from this staircase region, because you can see this wall again is going down to here. So apart from this region here, this staircase region, we must apart from only this staircase region, we have to load the wall load in these beams, and I'm talking about these beams here. So I'll go to this. I'll go to full UDL. And then a full UDL of about 10 kilonewtons per meter in the global Z. Okay, so I will undo that. If I go to 3D, so let me go to loading, full UDL, then story 1. So let me first undo all I have done. Okay, so let's validate the model, and the model is still valid. I have all those for imposed load, for dead load, for self weight, slab self weight, Okay. Then let me escape. Then we need to go to dead load, full UDL. Um, it's a line load. So there's no line load out there. Let's validate the model again. Model is still valid. Now I can go now to analysis. Before I go to analysis, I go to load. All these load cases. I'm not going to analyze for earthquake because this building was not analyzed for earthquake. Combination, the envelope. Okay. Analysis. So here at load combinations, you need to can generate final or finish. No, finish. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now if I go now to envelope, I will pick all of those. Okay. Then if I go now to analysis, analyze all static 3D. Then I go to design, design concrete static. All members have passed the design check. Of course, this building was already done, so I know the design which passed and whatever. So if I click this column, so let's maybe let's pick this column here. Right click and then generate drawing. Okay. So you can see A16, A8 at 175. Now if I pick the beam, maybe which one is the most critical? Let me go to story 1. And maybe let's pick this beam. So let's go to 3D. right click, generate drawing. Which trade-off is passing? Of course, this makes a lot of sense. We can go now to slab design and design slab. All the slabs are also passive. Now, if we go now to base, we can go to foundation, insert pad footing. Can you do this? Okay, can be done. So, and then let's go to 3D. Now we are still in foundation, design pad bases. So so guys, thanks for watching this video. I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can join, be member to my YouTube channel at a small cost, and you'll be able to have access to premium videos and other stuff from my YouTube channel. Thank you.